A wonderful day, students of grade 9 in the beautiful province of LANAO del Norte, the land of beauty and bounty. I am ARIANNIE Lagat, your teacher for today's lesson. Welcome to Module 2.
Artwork and Artists of Renaissance and Baroque Periods. At the end of this module, the learners are expected to identify representative artists from Renaissance and Baroque periods. To achieve the objectives cited above, you are to do the following. Take your time reading, listening, and watching the lessons carefully. Follow the directions or instructions in the activities and exercises diligently. Answer all the given tests and exercises. Before you go further, you will answer first the pre-test activity. Please refer to your self-learning module, page 3. Individual activity. Directions. Identification. From the word pool below, identify the terms, artworks, and artists if they belong in the Renaissance period or Baroque period. Write your answers in 2 columns in your activity notebook. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Are you done? Very good. Excellent. Renaissance period, 1400 to 1600. Renaissance was the duration of financial progress. The duration stirred enthusiasm for the study of ancient philosophy and creative values. The Renaissance has impacted the world in several ways. 2 of those ways are by the art and church. They influenced the world through art by having new techniques for artists to use to create paintings and by having art spread from the Italy to Northern Europe, which leads to the popularity of the movement. Famous Renaissance artworks and artists: Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni, 1475 to 1564. Michelangelo used to be an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet. He was once regarded the biggest residing artist in his lifetime, and ever since then, he was considered as one of the best artists of all time. Among his magnificent works as sculptor had been the following: Pieta, Bacchus, Moses, David, Dying Slave, Dawn and Dusk. 2 of his exceptional acknowledged works, the Pieta and David, have been sculpted before he grew to become 30. In Pieta, Michelangelo approached the situation which till then had been given normally from north of the Alps, where the portrayal of pain had constantly been related with the concept of redemption as represented by means of the seated Madonna preserving Christ's body in her arms. Leonardo di Ser-Piero da Vinci, 1452 to 1519. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, architect, scientist, and mathematician. He was popularized in existing instances via the novel and movie Da Vinci Code. He is known as the remaining Renaissance man due to the fact of his intellect, interest, talent, and his expression of humanist and classical values. He is extensively considered to be one of the biggest painters of all time and perhaps has the most diversely talented individual to have ever lived. Mona Lisa stems from a description with the aid of Renaissance art historian Giorgio Vasari, who wrote, Leonardo undertook to paint for Francesco del Giocondo the portrait of Mona Lisa, his wife. The title of the painting, although traditionally spelled Mona, is also generally spelled in modern Italian as Mona Lisa. Raffaello Sanzio da Urbino, Raphael 1483 to 1520. Raphael used to be an Italian painter and architect of the High Renaissance period. His work was admired for his readability of structure and ease of composition, and for its visible fulfillment of the decoding the divine and incorporating Christian doctrines. The Transfiguration was once Raphael's remaining painting on which he labored on up to his death. Donato di Niccolo di Beto Bardi. Donatello, 1386 to 1466. Donatello used to be one of the Italian wonderful artists of the period. He was an early Renaissance Italian sculptor from Florence. He is regarded for his work in bas-relief, a structure of shallow comfort sculpture. His works blanketed the following statues and relief: David, statue of Saint George, equestrian monument of Gatamelata, Prophet Habakkuk, and the Feast of Herod. David by Donatello. At the time it was created, it was the first known freestanding nude statue produced since ancient times. Renaissance art is the art of calm and beauty. Each creation are perfectly exposed, nothing compelled or inhibited, uneasy or agitated. Baroque art, 1600 to 1800. The term Baroque was once derived from the Portuguese word Barocco, which means a regularly fashioned pearl or stone. It describes a pretty complicated idiom and focuses on painting, sculpture as properly as architecture. Baroque was once a length of creative styles in exaggerated motion, drama, tension, and grandeur. The style started out in Rome, Italy, and unfolded to most Europe. Famous Baroque artworks and artists. Michelangelo Merese or Amerige da Caravaggio, 1571 to 1610. He was once higher recognized as Caravaggio. He was once an Italian artist who decided to deviate from the classical masters of Renaissance. He was an outcast in his society due to the fact of his very own actions and the lack of modesty and reverence for spiritual topics in his very own paintings. Among his famous artwork were Supper at Emmaus, Conversation of St. Paul, and Entombment of Christ. Gian Lorenzo Bernini, 1598 to 1680. Bernini was an Italian artist and the first Baroque artist. He practiced architecture and sculpture, painting, stage design, and was additionally a playwright. As a prodigy, his first artworks date from his 8th birthday. Among his early works were the goat Amalthea with the infant Jupiter and the fawn, Damn Soul, and the Blessed Soul. He made a sculpture of David, was the Cardinal Borghese, which is strikingly distinct from Michelangelo's David because it suggests the differences between the Renaissance and the Baroque periods. The well-known Ecstasy of Saint Teresa was his best achievement, and the colonnade of the Piazza of St. Peter's, Rome. Rembrandt Harmenzoon van Rijn, 1606 to 1669. Rembrandt was an exceptional Dutch realist, painter, and etcher. He is generally regarded as one of the best painters and printmakers in European art. He followed no particular faith, however, was once interested in non-secular values and often chooses non-secular subjects. His well-recognized work used to be his self-portrait in old age. Rembrandt had produced over 600 paintings, nearly 400 etchings, and 2,000 drawings. Diego Velázquez, 1599 to 1660. Velázquez of Spain developed out of the Baroque. He was one of the finest masters of composition and one of the most vital painters of the Spanish Golden Age. His famous works were The Surrender of Breda, Las Menanas, The Maids of Honor, Los Barracos, The Drinker, and Maria Teresa. Las Menanas, The Maids of Honor by Velázquez. He created this work 4 years earlier than his death and served as a gorgeous example of the European Baroque length of art. Margaret Theresa, the eldest daughter of the new queen, seems to be the issue of Las Minanas, but in searching at a number of viewpoints of the painting, it used to be uncertain as to who or what was once the genuine subject, it possibly the royal daughter or the painter himself. We will now proceed to our next activity. Individual Activity 1. Where do I belong? Identification. Identify which historical period each artwork belongs to. Write your answer in your activity notebook. You may start now. Go! Well done! Now we will proceed to activity 2. Guess who? Direction. Identify on what period does the following artist belongs to. Number 2. Write your answer in the space provided for. You may start now. Go! Amazing! You are great! Activity 3. Spot the difference. Instruction. Identify and describe the artists of each period using a table based on the discussion. You may start now. Go! Guided questions. Number 1. What is genre style of the artist? Number 2. Are there any similarities between the genre style of each artist? Number 3. What are the differences of each artist per period? We are now in activity 4, up to date. Draw or paint an artwork in the style of Renaissance or Baroque which promotes either peace, saving the earth, gender equality, or any other issues that you might think about. Give a title and a short description about your work. Materials: 1/4 white cartolina. Drawing and painting materials. You may start now. Enjoy! Rubrics. Reflection questions. What did you feel as you were making your masterpiece? Number 2. Does your artwork visibly convey the characteristics or idea of Renaissance period or Baroque period? Number 3. How does your artwork illustrate the idea and the message of such issues you have decided to work on? Now, we will proceed to our next activity. Activity 5. Choose it. Instruction. Identify each artist on where they are belong. Choose your answer on the box and write your answer on the box provided. You may start now in Make Your Activity. Enjoy! Amazing! You are great! Activity 6. Name it. Direction. Name the following works and the corresponding name of the artist. Identify its era. Start now. Wonderful! Well done! Now let's answer the assessment. Are you ready? Then let's keep going. For this activity, please refer to your self-learning module, post-test, page 13. You may start now. Go!
Wonderful! Very good! I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today. Again, I'm Teacher Ariannie, hoping to see you on our next lesson. Goodbye!